The U.S. Supreme Court could rule on Trump's tariffs any day now. If the tariffs fall, crypto could rally hard. If they survive, expect another sell-off. This is the single biggest event hanging over your portfolio right now, and most people aren't paying attention. Here's what's happening. The Supreme Court has set February 20th as its next opinion day. That's tomorrow. They could also rule on the 24th or 25th. These are the first opinion days since January 20th, when the court delayed its ruling and Bitcoin dropped below $90,000 on the news. Let's rewind. In April 2025, Trump imposed sweeping tariffs on all goods entering the U.S., an across-the-board rate plus targeted reciprocal tariffs on individual countries. 25% on Mexico and Canada, 10% on China. The result? Tariff revenue has exploded. $124 billion collected this fiscal year. That is a 304% increase from the same period last year. But this isn't just about trade. These tariffs have hammered crypto at every turn. Last October, when Trump threatened 100% tariffs on China, Bitcoin crashed from 120,000 to 104,000 in a single day. When he threatened tariffs on 8 European countries, Bitcoin dropped again. When he later dropped those tariffs, Bitcoin bounced. The pattern is clear. Tariffs down, crypto up. Tariffs up, crypto down. Now the Supreme Court is deciding whether the whole program is even legal. The Court of International Trade already ruled against them. The Federal Circuit upheld that ruling. The tariffs, they said, exceed the president's authority under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The Supreme Court heard oral arguments back in November, and everyone expected a ruling in January. It didn't come. So where do prediction markets stand? Polymarket gives just a 28 to 30% chance the court rules in Trump's favor. That means a 70% chance the tariffs get struck down. But here's the twist. If the court rules against the tariffs, the government may have to refund some or all of the $124 billion it has already collected. That's a fiscal earthquake. Peter Navarro, the White House trade advisor, is already promising what he calls the largest rebate in American history. The administration is clearly nervous. Trump is reportedly considering lowering key tariffs ahead of the ruling. The South China Morning Post reports the tariffs could be rolled back for up to a year, while officials look for short-term economic wins. What does this mean for crypto? If the tariffs fall, it removes the single biggest source of macro uncertainty that's been crushing risk assets since April last year. Trade normalizes, inflation pressure eases, the path to rate cuts opens up. Institutional money, which has been fleeing crypto for 4 straight weeks to the tune of $3.8 billion, could start flowing back. If the tariffs survive, expect the opposite. More uncertainty, more capital flight. Bitcoin is already struggling to hold 67,000. A ruling in favor of Trump's tariffs could push it toward the 50,000 to 60,000 range that some analysts are now warning about. But here's what most people miss. Even if the ruling doesn't come on February 20th, the court has the 24th and 25th queued up. This is getting resolved within days, not months. The waiting game that has paralyzed markets since January is almost over. Bitcoin has lost $1.17 trillion in market value since the October peak. The Fear and Greed Index sits at 12. Extreme fear. 4 straight weeks of institutional outflows. All of this has happened under the shadow of these tariffs. Whatever the court decides, the uncertainty ends. And in markets, removing uncertainty is often more powerful than the outcome itself. This is the most important week for crypto in 2026. Pay attention.